developments for India and Britannia. 2020.
Between the United Kingdom and the United States. But there are also possibilities of the documents being leaked by someone who gained access to the US intelligence system. According to the current leak, Ukraine's air defenses with ammunition will be leaked. One of the documents, dated 23rd of February and marked as secret, outlines in detail how Ukraine's Soviet-era S-300 air defense systems would be depleted by the 2nd of May at the current usage stage, which has also been called the Greatest War. Apart from this, the leaked document also reveals how the Kremlin has agreed for peace talks and has asserted on how it will not accept defeat.
Now, Russia's merchant of death international arms dealer Viktor Bout has offered the former US President Donald Trump to take up asylum in Russia. The series of messages by the Russian arms dealer were sent to the former president via telegram and shown to the press in Moscow. In his telegram message to Trump, Bout expresses concern over the former US president's safety and offers him safe haven in Russia.
Прежде всего, я считаю, что жизнь в опасности. И то, что тот судебный процесс, который значится в Нью-Йорке, не закончится просто тем, что президент Трампа осудит предательство, скорее всего, он будет просто полный уничтожен.
Freed from a US jail last year, Viktor Bout was swapped for US basketball star Brittney Griner in a high-profile prisoner exchange between Moscow and Washington in December. Bout even told Trump, who he has long admired, that he would find a safe haven from Russia. Trump can lead the fight for the American people. This also comes days after Trump became the first former or current US president to be indicted on criminal charges by a jury for allegedly paying hush money to Russian Trump. Trump is as in return for his silence on a Greek affair. A large cache of what appears to be classified Pentagon documents have been circulating on various social media sites. Now, these documents go with more details of US spying on Russia war machines in Ukraine and secret assessments of Ukraine's combat power. Well, not only this, the documents also contain intelligence gathered on America's allies, including South Korea and Israel. Well, many of the leaked documents have been labelled secrets. Many of the leaked documents have been labelled as top secret, which is the highest level of classification. Well, the document that first appeared online in March, however, the leak, it remains unclear and it could represent the most serious breach of US intelligence secrets. Well, since 2013, that is when a contractor for the National Security Agency passed on thousands of classified documents to journalists about US electronic surveillance. The latest leak includes repeated references to information based on secret signals, intelligence, electronic eavesdropping. Well, according to a former US intelligence officials, the leaks about Russia and its spy agencies could cause significant damage if Moscow is able to cut off those sources of information. The US Department of Justice has now launched a probe into the possible leak of intel related to Ukraine, China, and West Asia. The Pentagon on Sunday said that it made a formal referral to the Department of Justice asking it to investigate the apparent leak of documents which have been circulating on various social media sites, including Twitter. The US officials have further said that they are taking the leak seriously and they are working towards a more formal assessment of what is actually in these documents and how they were leaked in the first place. Well, the leaks, they have rattled the Pentagon officials, particularly within the Defense Department's of Joint Staff, which compromises which comprises, I should say, senior uniform leadership whose role it is to advise the president. According to the officials, some of the intelligence could have originated from the Five Eyes partner, which is an intelligence alliance comprising of Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the United Kingdom and the United States. But there are also possibilities of the document being leaked by someone who gained access to the US intelligence system. Well, according to the apparent leak, Ukraine's air defences risk running out of missiles and ammunition within weeks. One of the documents dated the 23rd of February and marked secret to outline in detail how Ukraine's Soviet-era S-300 air defence systems would be depleted by May the 2nd at the current usage stage, which is also being called the rate of burn. Apart from this, the leaked document also reveals how the Kremlin has agreed for peace talks, but has asserted on how it will not accept defeat. Okay. Let's get some more details on this. Delighted to be joined by Glenn Diesen from Norway. A warm welcome to you, a Professor of International Relations at the University of South Eastern Norway. Thank you so much indeed. So, is there a security concern at the Pentagon? What can we read into this?
Well, there's certainly a security breach. It's just uncertain who it was. You mentioned that it could have been allies within the Five Eyes, but some of the documents appear to have been limited to or restricted access to foreign nationals. So there is, of course, also the concern that this is coming, and it's a leak very high up in the U.S. military chain, as these were very highly classified documents. So it could be either pro-Russian elements in the U.S. military, or it could be merely the American military officials who are very critical of this proxy war they're fighting against Russia, as the war position is growing. And but again, this will be pure speculation because so far we do not know. But based on the documents, it suggests that there will be there will be someone from the U.S. military.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're speaking about who it is, and as you say, we simply don't know. It's speculation at the moment. Now, if this intel is to be believed, how worried should we be about Ukraine's position?
Well, it's quite dramatic because they're running out of air defense system. And that means both the weapon systems as well as the interceptor missiles, because Russia's destroyed many of the S-300, but also Ukraine often has to use a lot of these interceptor missiles because Russia has so many, well, first of all, cheap drones, which makes it a bad trade-off, but also has so many missiles. So there is a shortage, obviously. And this is very problematic for Ukraine because without air defenses, Russia can use more air power, which it hasn't really done yet, to dominate the battlefield even more. Because Russia has to date been quite hesitant to use its air force as long as they cannot act with impunity in the skies. So they focus mostly on using their artillery systems. Now, we appear to have reached this point where the air defenses have become so weakened because we see that Russia is already using its air force increasingly often now in areas such as Avdiivka, which means that the war will now drastically shift further to Russia's favor.
Yeah, incredibly worrying. Thank you so much indeed. We appreciate your expertise. That's Glenn Diesen, a Professor of International Relations at the University of South Eastern Norway. Thank you for your time.
My pleasure.
Major bilateral developments for India and Ukraine on the horizon. Ukraine's Deputy Foreign Minister, Iryna Zakharova, landed in Delhi today to commence a 4-day visit to India. She is now the first high-ranking Ukrainian official to visit India since the beginning of the Russo-Ukrainian conflict. Now, Zakharova has arrived at the Indian External Affairs Ministry in Delhi and is scheduled to hold talks with Foreign Secretary Sanjay Verma. Zakharova is also expected to meet with the Deputy National Security Advisor, Vikram Misri, and the Minister of State for External Affairs and Culture, Meenakshi Lekhi, today. Now, on the agenda is expected to be a re-evaluation of bilateral ties along with an update on the war. Kiev is also expected to seek humanitarian aid, including pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, and tools needed to restore the nation's power grid. Ukraine's energy infrastructure has been severely crippled in the fighting. During her 4-day visit, Zakharova will also expand upon Kiev's 10-point peace formula and call on India to aid in consensus building in Donbass. Zakharova is also seeking an invitation for Zelensky to partake in the G20 proceedings and talk to the leaders at the summit meet.
We also feel that we have this arbitrary by promoting the values of justice, of peace, as your Prime Minister in some sense said, that it's not an era of war. I mean, we do support this purely and fully, but unfortunately we have aggressive countries who question the existence of other countries, and then the question of India's involvement as a leader in the global south, as a G20 presidency. I think that the hope that India would be involved into global issues like this.
Zakharova may also extend an invitation to high-ranking Indian officials such as Prime Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and Prime Minister Narendra Modi to visit Kiev. India has been careful in its response to the war, and along with China has abstained from openly criticizing its ally Russia.
First word of the Indian Prime Minister that this is not an era of war, is something that has never been since the Indian Prime Minister told these comments to the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Largely, this ongoing visit is significant, given during this visit she is going to meet top Indian officials and, of course, ministers as well. But it's only when the visit starts to end we'll get to know what was the key focus of the talks as to what role Ukraine would like to see when it comes to India's role in the ongoing conflict in Europe.
The war in Ukraine is possibly changing gears. Per an analysis of satellite images by Al Jazeera has revealed, the Russian forces are fortifying the Crimean Peninsula. Why? Well, in anticipation of a Ukrainian attempt to recapture it. The investigation carried out by Al Jazeera Sana News Verification and Monitoring Unit, it found between February and March, the Crimean border and surrounding areas were transformed into a fortified barrier ahead of an expected spring counteroffensive by the Ukrainian forces. Well, according to the images provided by Sana, by SkySat and Planet.com, an extensive network of trenches and defences has been constructed, extending across the border of the villages of Crimea. Well, construction and expansion of several significant military bases also took place during the same period. Meanwhile, in Crimea over the past few months, advertisements for workers to build fortifications have appeared on Russian job sites. Analysts say a shortage of manpower could be a significant reason why these trenches are not yet fully effective. The Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in 2014, 8 years before Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. And as the war grinds on, Ukraine's political and military leadership has made it clear that it defines victory as reclaiming its 1991 borders that was recognized by Russia. Well, the United Nations and all of Ukraine's Western allies also recognise those borders, which include Crimea.
Dat is goed, zo. Zoals klote kaartje. Nee, dat weet
gratis. Dus 2 matrassen al vanaf €899. Een snellere winkel of kijk op www.nl.
Ja.
Let's now shift focus to the other big story. We are tracking a large cache of what appears to be classified.
Okay, where to? You got a couple